So George Kittle is not going to play against the Arizona Cardinals, and someone's going to have to take his targets. Obviously, the offense is going through Deebo Samuel right now, the passing game. Who's going to pick up the slack for George Kittle? He's the number 2 target. Where are those passes going to go? They can't all go to Kyle Juszczyk, can they? You're not going to throw a bunch of throws to Trey Sermon. I think a lot of people expect it's going to be either Brandon Ayuk, the first-round pick they traded up for last year, who had a really good rookie season and is surprisingly awful this year, or at least absent from the offense. Or Ross Dwelley, the backup tight end who never gets the ball enough, but when he does, great things happen. Last week, he scored a touchdown. Kind of like the Kyle Juszczyk of this year, although Juszczyk's getting the ball a lot. He did in the past. Okay, so who's going to get the ball? I don't think it's going to be Dwelley. For whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan must hate that guy. I don't know. Dwelley could catch a touchdown pass every time he touches the ball. He'd only get 10 targets a season. So I don't think it's going to be Dwelley, although it could be. It should be. Why not? I don't think it's going to be Brandon Ayuk either. I think the deal with Brandon Ayuk is that his mistakes are things that are not perceivable to fans and media. Like, if he lines up in the wrong spot, we don't know. Only way we can tell is if the quarterback frantically tries to get Brandon Ayuk's attention before the snap and sends him somewhere else, and the Niners have to call a timeout, which happened last week. I think that the clue that the 49ers felt Brandon Ayuk was not really doing his job to the best of his abilities was when both quarterbacks, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, in training camp, raved about Trent Sherfield, how he never misses an assignment, how he's always where he needs to be, how he always runs the route as hard as he can. As opposed to who? Brandon Ayuk. I think what we're hearing or seeing from Ayuk is when he's not the primary receiver in a pattern, which is like every play this year. When he's asked to, maybe run a clear out route or be a decoy, he doesn't necessarily run the route as hard as he can. And then when he is a primary receiver, he's not necessarily running the route correctly, or he's lining up incorrectly. So if I had to make a bet, I wouldn't exactly bank on the 49ers finally trusting Brandon Ayuk this week. What has changed? The guy they trust is Trent Sherfield. And the guy who had a really good connection with Trey Lance in training camp was Trent Sherfield. Those guys played together every day on the second team. Now, Brandon Ayuk got some reps with Trey Lance too, but Sherfield and Lance played together every day on the second team and had a terrific connection. Lance couldn't really trust many people on that second team offense. A lot of guys on that offense aren't on the team anymore. Richie James Jr., Travis Benjamin, that kind of stuff. But he trusted Sherfield. He could throw down the field. He could throw the deep out to Sherfield. He could throw over the middle to Sherfield. He could throw anywhere to Sherfield. In a train, in the rain, on a bus, in a box with a fox, anytime Trent Sherfield had him. So I would expect that to carry over to this game. Look for Trent Sherfield to catch a long one, maybe catch a touchdown pass, maybe both.